Okay, listen up. Stop typing out text, printing it onto a shirt, and selling it. This tutorial is going to teach you some basic typography techniques using Adobe Illustrator. You will learn how to use a simple text or phrase and convert it into a cool typography effect. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more apparel design tutorials. Create a new document. I will be changing the size of my document to 12 by 15. Make sure it is in CMYK and 300 ppi. Now grab your type tool here, and I will be typing out the words "if this." And the font I will be using is Bagify or Bagify. The font size will be 53. And also, if you're looking for links to the items that I am using, the fonts or the images I'm using, they will all be linked down in the description box. Change the fill to white and then change the stroke to black. The stroke weight will be 2. Now we're going to open up the appearance panel and we will add a drop shadow. Now change your mode to normal. The opacity will be 100%. The X offset will be 0.065 inches and the Y offset will be the same. And change your blur to 0 inches and then click OK. Now we are going to grab the ellipse tool and make an oval that covers the entirety of the 2 words. And in your swatches panel, we will change our fill to 00A79D. And then we will increase our stroke by 1. So it will be a 3-point weight stroke. And then here I'm just adjusting it so that it fits a little bit tighter around the 2 words. And again, we are going to add a drop shadow to this. So go back to your appearance panel, FX, stylize, drop shadow, and change the X offset to 0. Our Y offset will be 0.125 inches. Now I will copy and paste this circle, and we are going to remove the drop shadow by just dragging the drop shadow layer towards the trash icon. And then we will also get rid of the fill. Now we will change our stroke color to 006838. And then now we will place it inside of our larger oval and adjust it like so. Now go up to View, Show Grid, and use your pen tool, and we're going to create a bow tie shape. So here, while I'm clicking in to make a straight line, you can press down the Shift key on your keyboard. And then you can use your path selection tool and adjust the points how you would like them. Then go back over to your selection tool and adjust it some more. And now we will change the fill color of our bow tie, but make sure you change your stroke to black, and then your fill color will be F7941D. And now go back into your appearance panel and add another drop shadow. And the white offset will be 0.2, and then click OK. So now we're going to copy and paste this shape and remove the drop shadow. We will change the fill to none, and our stroke will change as well. And so change the color of this stroke to F15A29. And we're gonna basically do the same thing that we did with the oval and adjust it so that it fits in the bow tie shape. And so now you can use the direct selection tool and extend the different parts of the shape so that it fills the inside of it. Now we are going to remove our grid or hide our grid. Now use your type tool and I will type out the word world. And I will change my font size to 110. And make sure the fill is set to white and you have no stroke on your word. So I'm probably gonna have to decrease the size. Well, no, I'm gonna increase the size of my bow tie so that it fits the size of my word. Now I'm going to copy and paste this again, and again I will remove the drop shadow and I will remove the stroke. I will select the word world and I will place it beneath my bow tie. I will make sure that my type is centered inside of the bow tie how I would like. And then I'll go up to Object, Envelope Distort, and Make with Top Object. And so now you can see that my word has now conformed to the bow tie shape. So now I'm using my direct selection tool again, and I am extending my corners so that it fills the space. Now select your type and we will add a drop shadow. and a stroke to this. So now that we're at this stage, you can still edit your text, but in a few you won't be able to edit it because I'm going to expand my text. So go to Object, Expand, and then you can add a stroke, a 3-point stroke, and also a drop shadow. Now, expanding your text may not be necessary, but for this tutorial, I just ended up expanding my text. And then go in and add a drop shadow. And I'll change my X offset to 0.065 and the Y offset will be the same, and click OK. So now we will use the ellipse tool and create little circles for our lights. And the fill will be the same color as our bow tie. And so now I'm using my pen tool here just to create a dark orange shadow. So here I am just clicking and dragging, and I will change my fill to F15A29. So here I'm just removing my stroke temporarily on my circle, and I will use my pathfinder to get rid of the extra part that I do not need. And I'm going to add a stroke and place it behind. So now I want to select my stroke in these two shapes and then basically copy and paste them along my word. So I just sped it up for time purposes, and then select all of your lights and group them together and add a drop shadow. I will be changing the X and Y offset to 0.025 and click OK. So for this next step, we're basically going to repeat the same process. So go ahead and show your grid again, and we will make another diamond shape using our pen tool. So after we create our diamond shape, we will use the direct selection tool, and on the right and left corners, we are going to drag in those two small circular dots on the inside so that we can curve those corners. So now I'm going to create some white dots and place 3 of them on the right and left side of our shape. So next I will open up my globe here, And I will be using this third one on the last row. And I will copy and paste it over into my document, and of course resize it while holding down the shift key so everything stays proportionate. And then next I'm going to use my pen tool here just to create a nice little curvy line around my globe. And I will change the fill to none, and the stroke will increase to about 4. And then now I can use my direct selection tool and again modify my line. And then next, use your pen tool, and I'm just going to create basically space around my line, and I'm going to fill it with the color that I use for my diamond. And then make sure the stroke is set to none, and then place it behind your line. So now I'm just using my pen tool just to create some highlights. These will be a white stroke, the fill will be none. I will change the size of my stroke to 2, and then I will make sure my cap and corner is rounded. So just continue to add some highlights around your globe. Now open up your stars image, and I'm just going to select one of these to bring over into my document. And I will just Command C and then Command V to paste it. And then of course again resize it, and I will change the fill of my star to 8D C63F. And then for my stroke it will be black, and then I will increase the weight just a tad and make sure my cap and corner is rounded. And we'll add a little highlight to this star as well. So here I'm just grouping this together. You can do Command G on your keyboard to group it, and then I will get rid of my guide again. So now open up your arrow document, and you can copy and paste this over into your document. So here I'm just copying and pasting an arrow and put that one off to the side, and then I use my eyedropper to take the color and the stroke from my oval that I used. So we're basically, again, repeating the same steps that we did prior by adding a stroke and then adding a drop shadow as well. And then of course this will be the inner outline for our arrow. And then type out the word was, and I will be using this font. And my fill will be white, but instead of doing the stroke for this particular font, I'm going to have to expand my text. Or if I don't want to expand it, I can just copy and paste this text layer and then add a stroke to that one and then send it behind this text. So here, just go ahead and add your drop shadow. And I'm going to change my Y offset to be about 0.125. And then go ahead and add your stroke and align your stroke to the outside. So now we are going to make some square boxes. So here, start off with a orange box with a black stroke and increase your weight to 3 and make sure the align stroke is set to the inside. So copy and paste this box, and we're going to change this fill to black and place this one behind our first box. Now select both of our shapes and go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. And then change the spacing to specified distance, and we will change it to 0.0014 and click OK. Now go to Object, Blend, Make. So now we have our 3D box, and you can double click on either one of these squares and move them in any direction, and it moves with it, as you can see. So now this is going to come in handy since I am going to copy and paste this 3 times so that I can type out the word mine. So I just copied and pasted those 2 boxes and just did a little reflection on them and flipped them. Now I'm going to use my type tool and type out the word mine. And I'm using this font. So next, just copy and paste your letters and place them in the center of your boxes. Now add a drop shadow like we did with the word was and world. Now here I am adding another box on top, but this will be the outline layer. Basically going to use the same color that we used previously. And decrease your stroke to about 1 and send it behind your text layer. So again, copy and paste and do this to the rest of the boxes. And this is also another way you can bring objects to the front or the back by right-clicking, arrange, bring to the front. Here, use your pen tool and create some lines within your letters. And then next we're going to add highlights on the boxes as well. And the color that I'll use for the highlight is a lighter orange color. This one would work pretty well. And then again, use your direct selection if you need to adjust them in any way. And here I'm just speeding up the process. And here I used I decided to curve the inside of my shapes. And now we will use our ellipse tool, and we're basically going to create a poker chip. And the fill color will be the same as the arrow and the oval. And so you can of course pause as I go along this process. So again, I'm just copying and pasting shapes until I get my poker chip how I want it. So here we are going to add the number 7 and use the same font that we previously used, and of course change the color. And increase the stroke to 2. And then next we're going to copy and paste another circle. And we are going to remove the fill and the stroke for this. And then grab your type on a path tool. I had to right click to access my type on a path tool. And then click on this path and then change this font to bold and van. And my size will be about 13. And then I'm going to type out the lyrics for this one. I'll be using all caps. And then here I decide to increase my font just a tad and change my fill to white, and my stroke will be black. Or what I decided to do is just copy and paste this and then move it to the back once I added my stroke. Or you can also expand your text. Add your drop shadow. And just to close up this here little gap, I'm going to add some more circles as a little decoration. So now I am adding a flat line to the bottom for the ground, and I will increase the weight until about 6. And then now I'm going to open up my palm trees, and I will copy and paste my palm trees over into my document. So here I copied and pasted this shape again, just so that I can add a black stroke to it and change the fill to none. And send it behind my main palm tree layer. And I'm pressing Command and the left bracket to send it behind. So now for my top layer, I will be changing around my color to green and tan, of course. And so here I will just be adding some dark green highlights. So now I'm just adjusting my stroke because I wanted it a bit thicker, and then make sure your cap and corner is rounded. And then again, use your direct selection tool to adjust it so that all the paths meet in the middle. Now we're going to pop on back over to our stars file. Now I will make some playing cards. So I will make a long rectangular shape, and the fill color will be F9, F4, E9. And then I will also copy and paste this again so that I can also do an inside stroke as well. So for this next part, I'm probably not going to talk much, but you can see everything that I am doing on screen. And then open up your heart file, and we are going to copy and paste that over into our document. And so now you can just copy and paste your cards and tilt them. And then tuck it in the upper left corner. So now I'm going to open up my cloud layer and again copy and paste over some clouds to put in the background. And I'll be changing my color to a very light blue color. So next I will be basically tying my entire design together, and I'll be putting a pole down the center, and then also I will connect the boxes as well. So just use a simple gray color, add a stroke, and then of course move it behind this bow tie shape. And then again, I'm going to copy and paste this one in place to connect this to my poker chip. And then I'll just use a simple black bar to connect the boxes. And that is how you take your type designs from boring to visually stunning. If you like what you saw today, make sure you click that like button and also subscribe. And in the comments, let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.